How's it going today, everybody? So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a coyote hunter's must-haves, whether that be rifles, tripods, calls, suppressors, thermals, scanners, you name it, we're going to talk about it. But no matter if you're somebody that's never been coyote hunting before, you're trying to get interested in it, trying to learn about it, this video may help you. Even if you're an experienced coyote hunter, there's some things you may not know. So stick around and we're going to talk about a lot of things. So the first thing that I want to talk about today, guys, are rifles. So there's a good possibility that you already have a rifle in your safe, even if it's Pawpaw's old 308. It's a good option for coyote hunting. So behind me, we've got several different rifles laid out here. We've got a 6mm ARC, a 22 Creedmoor, and then a 308 and an AR-10 platform. So as far as rifles go, there are so many good cartridges on the market today. You've got 6mm ARC, 22 ARC, 22 Creed, 6mm Creed, 6.5, you name it, it'll probably take a coyote. But behind me, as far as the AR goes, I really like the 6mm ARC and the 22 ARC calibers. They are fantastic. As far as a bolt gun goes, 22 Creed. 22 Creed is probably the hottest round out right now as far as predator hunting goes. Ammo availability is pretty good as far as factory rounds go, but if you have somebody that loads ammo, or if you guys need somebody, I would highly suggest Druid Heels. They are great guys. They make fantastic ammo. Give them a look. Highly suggest it. But over here we have a AR-10 in the 308 platform. As far as hard hitting, and you can hit those follow-up shots, I would definitely, AR-10 is a good choice. A little heavy, so, it just depends on what you prefer. But as far as rifles go, guys, like I said, even if it's Pawpaw's old 308 that's sitting in the safe, you can run it to coyote hunting. So there's no sense in going out buying a new gun when you've probably got one laying around. But as far as rifles go, that pretty much covers it. We're going to move on to the next subject, which is going to be tripods. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about are tripods. Now, there are many different variations of tripods, and there's a good chance that if you have already started coyote hunting, you more than likely have a bog pod. So that's everybody's normally their go-to when they start. I think they're around 200, 250 bucks. They do their job well. As you can see, this one here has been converted. It's had the death grip taken off of it and a ball head put on it, but there's a good chance that either you're using one or you've had one and you know what I'm talking about. They do their job. They're not great, but they're a budget-friendly option. In the middle here, we have another option. It's around I believe the $300, $350 mark. This is a fan something. It comes with carbon legs, comes with a ball head, Arca. It's actually a pretty nice tripod. I would definitely prefer that over a bog at any day of the week. Another great option for like the middle class category here is a Leo Photo. Those are very, very good tripods as well. I've used several of those. As far as the middle kind of class tripod, I'd suggest both of these. Moving on over here, we have a Fat Boy, not me, but a Fat Boy, guys, they're going to run you somewhere close to $1,000. Now, that's for the tripod and the head, whether you use the ball head, which is called the invert 40, invert 60, or they make what's called the levitate head, which is what I'm running here. If you guys have the money to burn and you want a tripod that you will never have to replace, like it's going to be a one-time buy and you're going to use it forever, get a Fat Boy. Highly, highly suggest it. I would be very comfortable taking shots 500-600 yards on this thing. I know there's a lot of police, SWAT, Secret Service use Fat Boys. They are tried and true. I love this thing, but you can only afford what you can afford. So no matter if you're just starting or if you're an experienced, a tripod can make all the difference. So if you're, you have a coyote run out at 200-300 yards and he's hung up, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna not take the shot, or do you want a tripod that's gonna be so sturdy that you feel comfortable with taking that 200 or 300 yard shot? So you tell me in the comments what kind of tripod you're running, what do you prefer, and we're gonna move on to the next category, which is thermals. So the next category that I want to cover are thermals. So there's a lot of different manufacturers, a lot of different variations of thermals. So thermals are one of those things that I would kind of consider a buy once, cry once kind of deal. So everybody has to start somewhere though. You can only get what you can afford. So we try to tell everybody, start with a 384. There's several different variations. You've got 256s, 384s, 640s, 1024s, 1280s. So you don't have to jump out there and buy the nicest, biggest, baddest thing, especially if you're just starting out. Most people start out with a 384, and that's what we have on the 6mm arc over here. That's AGM's Rattler V3 25 384. It's a solid, budget-friendly scope. Just like the Knockpix Bolt 35 is another fantastic option. It's a 384 built-in LRF. Behind me right here on the 22 Creedmoor, we have Knockpix's new H75R. It is their 640 resolution unit, built-in laser rangefinder. Over here on the AR10, we have Knockpix's also new S75R, which is a 1280 core thermal. Now guys, if you've never looked through a 1280 core thermal, don't do it. Just don't. When you can count the hairs on an animal, that's saying something. So if you've got money to blow, jump on the 1280 straight out of the line. If you know this is going to be like a solid hobby of yours where you're going to do it all the time, nonstop, you love it, go ahead and jump on the 1280. Now, saying that, if you don't have the money to spend on a 1280, go with a 384, go with a 640. There's a ton of options, whether it be the H75R, the H50R, you've got Ricks, you've got the L3R, the L6R, the DB6, DB12. You've got all these fantastic options on the market now for quality thermals. And guys, if you go to our website at southernprecisionoutdoors.com, you will notice that there are a very select few manufacturers that we cover. And it's a lot of manufacturers, but you'll notice that there's some on there that are left out. And we do that on purpose. So when it comes down to what we sell them for a reason. If that manufacturer does not stand up to warranty and good customer service, we're not going to carry them. It's all about the end user. So if you guys have something that, messes up within 6 months, a year, and most thermals nowadays come with a 5-year warranty. We want somebody that you can send an email to, a phone call to, and have that product taken care of immediately. We don't want you being left out in the dark or anything like that. So that's why we sell what we sell. So as far as thermals goes, guys, like I said, there's a ton of great options out there. If you would drop some comments down below and let us know what you're running. If you have any questions about what you should be running or some suggestions on a new scope that you want, let us know. We'll gladly tell you anything you want to know about it. So the next category we're going to talk about are suppressors. All right, guys, the next thing I want to talk about are suppressors. Now, I believe there are 8 states in total right now. I could be wrong on that number, that you cannot own a suppressor. And I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you rather than you should move, because that's stupid. But we're down here in the South just basking in the suppressor goodness. But as far as suppressors go, ever since January 1st, 2026, everybody knows that the $200 tax stamp has went away. So ever since then, there has been a wildfire of suppressor sales. Now, there are a lot of great options on the market for just about every caliber you can think of for a suppressor. One manufacturer that we highly recommend is Diligent Defense. They make fantastic products. They're great people. Customer service is fantastic, and you get maximum suppression for your money. So I don't think there's a better option on the market, to my knowledge, that you pay for what you get with, other than Diligent. It doesn't matter if it's their Diligent S, their shortest, cheapest can. That thing is amazing. So if you're looking for a suppressor and you want something that is just going to be outstanding, or you interested in something else and you want some feedback on it. I mean, I've shot just about every can on the market. So if you want some feedback on a suppressor, what we think about it, drop a comment down below. We'll be glad to give you some feedback. And if we haven't shot it, we'll buy one and make a video about it. So just let us know. All right, guys, so sorry about the background change. The rain come out of nowhere. But the next thing that I want to talk about are thermal scanners. So thermal scanners are one of those things that I wouldn't classify as a necessity to coyote hunting, but I would highly advise you to save up and buy one. When you're in a field, coyotes can come from anywhere. You don't know if they're going to come from behind you, left, right, forward, whatever. So spinning around in a 360 degrees constantly on your rifle, that gets old pretty quick. Guys that have scanners, you know what I'm talking about. New guys that are just getting into it, you'll learn pretty quick that a scanner, whether it be $1,000, $900 scanner like the Rick's Pocket K3, a little dab would do you with a scanner. So mainly what you're looking for is a heat signature, a moving heat signature. So as soon as you see it, you know, you're scanning around. As soon as you see the heat signature, you can hop on your rifle and, you know, properly identify the animal in that way. So you don't have to jump out there, buy no huge high dollar, you know, scanner just off the rip. Save up, get what you want. But I would advise getting one. All right, so one thing that I wanted to cover in this video is how to get started coyote hunting. So me personally, I think I've seen some YouTube videos or something like that, and I was like, that looks awesome. I want to do that. So I didn't have anybody to teach me. I didn't know anybody that coyote hunted. It was pretty much a non-existent thing in my area. There was nobody doing it. And I pretty much self-taught. I started, I think, with like a Palmetto 556 build, some kind of ATN or Sightmark, like night vision setup, not really sure which. And then I went to Walmart and bought like a Primos, I think it was like a $60 Primos electronic call. And I'm not ashamed to say I started there, because I put dogs on the dirt with that setup. And I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. But as far as like trying to learn this hobby, if you've got friends that are doing it, go with them. Say, hey man, can I go with you? Can you teach me? You know, anything like that. Or if you don't, then, you know, teach yourself. The only way to get out there and put dogs on the ground is to go and put in the effort to get it done. So no matter what setup you're starting with or what equipment, or, you know, if you know anybody or not, the only way to get out there and do this sport or this hobby is to get out there and put in the effort. So the last thing that we wanted to cover in this video are calls. Now, there are two different variations to coyote calls. You have hand calls and you have electronic calls. Hand calls are a very good option for the budget-friendly user. There's a lot of guys out there that are some straight killers with hand calls. Me, myself, I've always been an electronic call user. I've always either ran Fox Pro or Lucky Duck, but I've always found myself gravitating back to a Fox Pro just because of the possibility that you can use MFK sounds and then also Tony Tebb sounds. And guys, I'll tell you right now, MFK and Tony Tebb sounds are some straight killers, hands down. Fox Pro also makes some very good sounds, just, you know, by themselves as a company. Most of the calls come preloaded with a pretty good selection off the rip. But once you go and listen to some of the sounds on the MFK library, you'll understand what I'm saying. And then once you get in the field and you hear and see what they do in action, it's a game changer. But as far as calls go, I've always used, like I said, a Lucky Duck or Fox Pro, and right now I've been running the Fox Pro X24 for a long time now. And I don't see myself really changing that. I know that Fox Pro X48 is coming out and then the 360 just came out not too long ago. But depending on your guys' budget is depending on what call you go with. But if you have any questions at all on what sounds to buy or what sounds to use for what time of year, drop them in the comments and we'll be glad to answer them. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video, and I appreciate all the support. And once again, just make sure you're subscribed so you get entered into the monthly giveaways, whether it be suppressors, hunting gear. 10,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a free thermal. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that, and you could win it.